The year is turning out to be an impactful one for Nigeria as the administration of President Bola Tinubu rolls out initiatives pointed out towards boosting economic growth, strengthening governance, and improving the lives of citizens. Commencing the business cycle of the year on the journey to a renewed hope, it is important to take a glimpse at some of the policies that might shape this year 2025. President Tinubu has presented the top 10 of his renewed hope policies and planned reformations for 2025 to salvage Nigeria's financial plunge. The proposed policies, however, not exactly different from what politicians often present at the beginning of the year, are ready to bolster the country's socioeconomic welfare for an average Nigerian. Now, while the president and members of the administration have insisted that various fora that the reform is best for Nigeria's economic viability, the majority of Nigerians have disagreed, especially given that the political class is barely making sacrifices or bearing the financial brunt like the rest of the citizens. Although there are growing skepticisms among Nigerians about the implementation of the said policies and how they will ease the hardship in the country, we look into a few of the most prioritized policies by President Tinubu with one of our guests on Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. Join us shortly. I'm your host, Odiawa AI. Welcome back to the show. The show is Viewpoints, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. Subsequently in the show, we'll be having Mr. Hephtah from the Ogun State Digital Summit, who will be analyzing a few of the policies in the Tinubu's renewed 2025 Hope policy. Now, in a bold and transformative move, President Tinubu had unveiled the highly anticipated 2025 renewed Hope policy, setting the stage for a revolutionary leap in Nigeria's agricultural landscape. This initiative, in partnership with the esteemed African Development Bank, aims to catapult food production to unprecedented heights, addressing the ever-growing demand for sustenance within Nigeria. The first phase of this ambitious project will actually focus on 6 strategic states. These 6 strategic states, of course, will be mentioned earlier on or elaborated by Mr. Hephtah, who has some insights regarding the laying of the groundwork on a network for the special agro-processing zones, the SAPs. Now, in what ways can the integration of modern technology and traditional farming practices within the 2025 Renewed Hope policy contribute not only to improving food security, but also fostering this sustainable rural development within Nigeria? Because hate it or love it now, if we look at the likes of US now, let's use the common Kellogg's now, which is world-renowned. We know the mega farm or hectares of lands which they have. They definitely are not reliant on traditional farming, but mechanized farming, which is the modern technology. How can this modern technology come into play now, talking about sustainable rural development now?
Okay, so basically, yes, we have a lot of modern technology that even we in Nigeria have not been able to even understand how it works. Let me take, for instance, many of us that are using ordinary mobile phones don't even know what the capacity of our mobile phones can do for us. And now we are now moving from the machine age to the AI age. AI is actually like in every aspect of our lives right now, and I can see this innovation coming in on spaces like agricultural development and all of, and what have you. So in my own opinion, I think what we should do is to integrate more youth that understand these things into these programs. Now, if you are going to integrate youth into programs like this, the incentives has to be I don't want to use the word mouth watering, but that's what I mean. It has to be convincing enough. You want people to shift their eyes away from fighting for the bank slot, fighting for politics, fighting for technology, as it were. You are making people to shift away from telecommunications. I want them to come to a business. You have to make them understand the fact that they can make as much career impact in that area as much as they can in even banking, financing, technology, and what have you. So now the integration of youth will increase the integration of youth will bridge the gap between the learning process, because at this point in time we know that the people that are actually into the agribusiness at its way, production mainly, are the old people right now. We don't have so much young people that are into the production process. So the production process is what is going to increase our output definitely. And we are using industrialization, technology advancement, all of that to increase that production thing. If you're going to increase that production thing to the point where we want, we need to, influence youth to go into that aspect. One, relate relatability in learning for the old ones. We are not going to just shift away from the old farmers totally. We are looking at a way where we can get these youth to be able to liaise with the old ones so that they can help them to integrate the use of this industrialization and technological advancement even on their production grants. Another part that I feel we can actually work more on is our maintenance policy. We have seen this thing go wrong in different aspects of our lives, especially in this part of the country. They give us a new road, and within 6 months, 8 months, the roads are getting spoiled already. Why? We don't have a good maintenance structure or maintenance culture in this part of the world. And as such, I believe that our maintenance culture has to, increase. Then storage processing too. Many of our storage processing is actually like very faulty, and with the new, inclination towards technological advancement, we should be able to focus more, because our production is going to increase definitely. When our production increases, we're not going to be able to eat everything that we produce at a go.
Yeah.
And instead of just selling it off at regular or reasonable prices, we can increase our storage capacity such that our food items can be stored for a longer time and still how do I put it now, increase their shelf life, so to speak. We can keep and sustain the quality while we are increasing the quantity that we are producing. And if we can do this, I believe that the policy will actually see the good light of the day. When this growth happens, more people will be inclined to go over to that aspect. We see the kind of opposition that CNG conversion, all of that, has actually been in our energy consumption and all of that.
Yes,
By the time we get so much knowledge about it, when people understand how it works, we understand the risk, the maintenance, the structure, and all of that, we can see more people tune into it. Let me give a very good instance. There was a time in Nigeria that people don't want to use cooking gas to cook in their kitchen because of the risk attached to it. We were so cool with using our kerosene and coal pots. Then at a point, we were able to, medium scale businesses start bringing in smaller quantity of cooking gas, 3 kg, 6 kg, 12.5 kg, and it started looking at like an household item. You understand?
Yes.
Then we increase our maintenance structure around it. We increase the knowledge of usage and what have you. By the time we do all of those things, acceptance came. And now I can tell you for a fact that almost every household in Nigeria right now is using cooking gas to cook. It will take a long time before you can get, even in the rurals of the rurals, they are using cooking gas. So by the time we get to this level of acceptance for industrialization, technological advancement in agricultural businesses, I believe we'll be able to increase our production, get our government to, and our people also to increase our storage capacity. Then we are good. Food security will actually become a thing that we can be proud of, and then we can face another problem.
Okay, that was quite extensively elaborate. Now, away from sustainable development now regarding the SAPS program, just to mention a few, storage capacity, as you mentioned now. Moving over to local government autonomy, this has been a contentious issue. This is another policy now. It has actually been a battleground that has drawn the eye of analysts, activists, and even citizens alike. Now, in 2024, it became clear that the lack of autonomy had stifled local governance, rendering it ineffective and often marred by the state interference. Now, the current system, now where allocations are funneled through state governments, had led to mismanagement and significant disconnect between the needs of the people, particularly at the grassroots, and the resources allocated to them. Now, with Tinubu now presently on seat now at the center, who, with his characteristic resolve, has vowed to dismantle this archaic structure by enabling direct allocations from the federal government, the center, down to the local government. Tinubu's policy actually aims to empower local leaders and ensure resources are utilized for the betterment of communities. This shift is not merely administrative, but a resonance of local governance, if you agree. Now, if I might inquire from you, how could potential challenges such as the capacity and readiness of local governments to manage increased autonomy impact on the successes of Tinubu's policy?
Okay, so hello, are we still together?
Yes, we're together. Did you get the question?
Yeah, I want to go back. I lost you somehow in the middle.
Okay, let me recap now. We're talking about the local government autonomy.
Yes, I got all that.
Okay. So what I'm actually asking is that the current system now where allocations are funneled through the state governments had led to mismanagement and significant disconnect between the needs of the people and resources allocated to them to meet their needs. Now, with Tinubu currently on seat now at the center, who actually is, with his characteristic resolve, has vowed to dismantle this particular structure by enabling direct allocations from the center down to the local government level. And this is actually to empower local leaders and ensure the resources are utilized for better communities. Now, if this is actually to impact on the effectiveness of, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, so I think I get where you're going.
Okay.
I think the first thing we should consider is what are the factors that are responsible for the lack of autonomy to start with.
Okay.
At the beginning, before we start talking about local government autonomy, what are the reasons why local governments were not given autonomy from the get-go? And I think one of the constraints of the local government is inadequate local financial resources. The major reason why local government are looking for autonomy is not even because of the decisions they want to make alone. It is basically because of the financial resources. And now, if we look at it now, each local government in Nigeria is depending largely on the statutory allocation from the federal government and the state. Outside of those allocations from the federal and the state, majorly the other aspects where revenue can come in for the local governments have been, obstructed by many factors. Sometimes lack of enough capital and funds, payment of staff salary and allowances have become problem for even local government people to sort. But in this new, this new particular structure now, local governments are getting their funding directly from the federal government without the state interference. Now, as sweet as that may sound, as fine as it may sound, I am sorry to say this, but we are going to be considering the Nigerian there is the word for it, the Nigeria team. I'll get it in the course of our discussion. Okay. One thing that I've been able to note is that our people do well when they know there is a check and balance for them.
Okay.
Local government chairman would know very well that when they get allocations from the state government will want to follow up on how they spent the money. Unlike when you are getting the allocation directly from the federal government, we have about 777 local governments, 776 local governments in Nigeria, or 774. I can't remember. I shall know. 774. Thank you. Now, 774 local governments getting allocation directly from the federal government. How do you think the federal government will follow up on 774 local governments? To follow up on 36 states, making sure that they even spend the money government is giving them judiciously is a problem. Federal government, you come back to your federal government not knowing that a particular money they pay for a particular state, for a particular project is not being done. You see state government, we've heard stories where state government will send in pictures of projects that they have not even done to federal government bodies, and they believe that the project has been done. How much more 774 local governments? So I believe that what could have been done better, instead of granting autonomy to the local government, total autonomy, is to giving them autonomy on some kind of decisions. Yes, grassroots development is based on people that are living in that area. It is the local government chairman that know the problem of their locality. Fine, we understand that part. We can give them autonomy in deciding what project they should do, how they want to do the project, which one climbs the top of their what they call a scale of preferences. But when it comes to financial resources, I still believe that local government should still be a subject to the state government. Let the state government understand what you need the money for before allocating such money to you. What the federal government could have just done is that when they are sending such allocation to the state government, whatever money is meant to go to particular local government should only be know that they follow through to make sure that the local government gets their money, such that one governor will not just decide because one local government chairman is not loyal to his case, or is not loyal to his authority. He didn't give him the money that is meant to be given to them. I hope you know what I'm
Yes,
trying to say. If you
yes.
can have a follow up, yes, a follow up structure that ensures that local governments get their money as at when due, right from the state government, so that the state government can be able to follow up the usage of such money. They will surely have a good time with that. I just believe that
Okay,
that is
if
one of
I'm
the things
getting
that they
you
could have
straight,
actually,
if I'm getting you straight there, to expatiate more on the check and balance system now, when the federal government actually allocates or disburses its funds to the state government, it's expected that the state government should also disseminate resources or disburse resources to the local government. And peradventure, the local government
exactly.
doesn't get its resources as at when due. In a case whereby a local government chairman isn't loyal to the state governor, why? Probably because of political differences. There should be a structural instrument in place to make sure that even the local government chairman can walk directly to the center to lay or table
You
complaints.
are getting my point.
Okay.
Exactly my point.
Okay,
I, I
moving.
I believe I believe that will do us more. That would do us more favor than just granting local government autonomy directly. Now we are going to be chasing 774 local government chairmen to be sure that they spend the money very well. EFCC will do a lot of work. Oh.
Okay, that's on an amusement note. Yes, you do a lot of work. I quite get that now. On a conclusive note, now talking about infrastructure commissioning now, the Tinubu administration had
Okay.
unveiled a series of ambitious projects that have long been awaited by citizens across the nation. Now, among these projects are the phase one of the Lagos Calabar Highway, which began early last year,
Okay.
2024. Then the three bus terminal stations in the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, the Ajaokuta Kaduna Kanu AKK gas pipeline. Now, lastly, also the Kaduna refinery and the renewable energy projects like the Maiduguri Emergency Power Project. How do you envision the completion of these ambitious projects impacting the economy development and social cohesion among Nigeria's diverse regions? Because these areas which I've just mentioned are strategically located within the country. Now, most importantly, the implementation of the renewable energy, because I recall you made reference to the CNG. Now, the renewable initiatives, just as the Maiduguri Emergency Power Project. How do these ambitious projects contribute to Nigeria's long-term energy sustainability and environmental goals?
Okay, so basically one of the major limitations that we have to production and how do I put it now, to productivity in Nigeria is maneuvering from one region to the other.
Okay.
The roads are bad. We understand that part. Our production, our infrastructural development generally has not been very much on par. That is why you see that at 2022, 2023, we are still celebrating new lines of train. And this new line of train that we are celebrating is even what some other countries have been using for the past 15, 20 years. Now, looking at what the President Tinubu regime has been doing on this infrastructure, I believe for one that it is one of the plus, is one of the reasons why I'm so okay, Baba, you they do well. You understand? Because at the end of the day, when you look at the linkage from Lagos to Calabar, the Jakuta, whatever, the train thing, the renewable energy, by the time you put all of these things together on check, all of these things will come together, synergizes each other to give us a preferable country as it's where that we are looking for. Now, this is the only part where I feel like we should put, and this is what I've been saying before on the previous ones that we talked about, continuity.
Okay.
Completion of these things cannot finish in 4 years. It is assured. We know these things. It is not as if we don't have resources to finish them in 4 years, but it will not be in 4 years. Why? We cannot say it tomorrow. if we put down resources for these things, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my opinion is wrong. Maybe because I'm not in that line of work. Maybe I just feel like so people they build house in 3 months. And some people will do the same kind of house for 2 years. I believe why the difference is not in that they have to wait for the blocks or the cement to get dry, is because of resources. That means if there is enough resources on ground, Lagos to Abeokuta, Lagos to Kaduna, Lagos to Calabar, all of those of 3 months, 6 months. If there's resources, you only have to increase manpower, increase supply of resources and all of that. Why does it take us 4 years? Why does it take us 8 years? Why does a regime will do just one infrastructural building and it takes them the whole tenure, and then they start from the first year, and then by the third year when they are seeking for re-election completion, and they now start doing commission and commission, and then that is what is going to be fresh in your head towards February, March, April, when they want to do election, and be like, oh, our state governor is doing well, our president is doing well, you see what his commission, you see what he's doing, let us vote for him again. I believe infrastructural development.
Hello, Mr. Hephtah.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I think infrastructure development has become just like poverty as a tool for the election. And that is why we see this thing take long terms before they get finished. But now with the new ones that we are setting up now in this new regime, I believe, or I want to believe, that if we can get them to completion even before the end of the first term, and then we could go on to build more in the next regime. By the next tenure continues that, and the continuation is, let's say Lagos to Calabar is is getting done, and it is not finished in this particular regime. Say Tinubu enter for second term, whoever enters decide that no, I'm not focusing on Lagos Calabar, I want to focus on Lagos to, maybe Lagos to another, maybe Lagos to Kaduna, that is not even on that same route. And then this one's to start that one, did not finish it, and then it stops there, another person enters. I want to believe that if we can actually, we can, complete infrastructures. Are we still together?
Yeah, with you. Yes. Yes. From what I can get now, it's a series of abandoned projects. Why? Because of the lack of continuity. Hello, Mr. Hephtah, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. 100.
Okay, what I can get now on a summary note is a case of a series of abandoned projects. Why? Because even the mentality of even the citizens are even tampered on. Why? Because they have refused to even build themselves out from a mental slavery. Why? Because projects are used to deceive them every 4 years to win their hearts for votes to secure the next election.
Exactly. You get my point.
Okay. I want to believe with all your extensive explanations, it's been a nice one hanging out with you. And we want to believe from time to time, you should make our time to join us on the show.
Definitely. When you call me, I will answer.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Hephtah. That was Mr. Hephtah from Ogun State Digital Summit, giving us a few insights concerning a few of the policies which Tinubu had actually brought up or initiated for 2025 regarding the renewed hope policy. Now, while the sound of the proposed policies from Tinubu's administrations are actually delightful to the ears, there is a question of implementation, just as we heard from Mr. Hephtah, of the intended programs on the part of the government. To explore the rest of the policies in a greater detail, we have to look further and inwardly how we on our own part have a role to play as citizens. The show has been Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I've been your host, Taiwo AI, on Viewpoint for Veegil Media. Thanks for watching.